Hi, this is Kevin from Hideaway Homestead. We're going to be talking today about a tree that a lot of people don't even know about. It's called the Moringa tree. We have several of these planted. Okay, this tree has a lot of uses. You can eat the leaves off of it, put them in your salad. You can cook them into your food if you want to do that. You can also dry them and turn them into a powder. They actually make them into a capsule, and you can buy them in the stores in a capsule form to use, and people take them on a daily basis, really. They're very medicinal. We're not doctors or anything like that, so what we tell you here, you need to check out for yourself and check with your doctor and see if this is something that would be beneficial to you. This is just information that we have found that works for us. So if there's anything that we say, we always encourage people to check it out further before they go on what we say. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be cutting this tree. You have to cut them back if you intend to get the leaves off of them, because what happens is they get too tall, as you can see this one is, and then you can't reach the leaves. So we're going to cut this one back, probably about right in here somewhere, so that we can get to them. Another good thing about when we do cut this is the limbs that we cut off, we can stick these in the ground and keep them watered, and they will grow another tree. In fact, that's where these trees came from. We got these trees from a friend of ours that had some growing in his yard, and we planted them and started them off, and this is what we have. Now we have 4 of them right here in this immediate area. Okay, so let's get started on cutting some of these limbs, and we'll show you what we do and how we do it. Cut that off, throw this aside, and we'll have it. Another thing that I failed to mention also for the use of this tree is that you can use the pods. It has these pods that have the seeds in them. When the pods are first growing, they're real skinny, smaller than a green bean. When they're in that stage, you can eat them in your food. You can cook them in a stir fry or something like that and eat them. Once they get big like this, they're woody and you can't eat them, but you can get the seeds out of them and use the seeds. You can use the seeds to replant them and grow a new tree from the seed, or you can eat the seeds like they are. One of the other things that they use the seeds for is to make an oil, and there's a process that you go through to get the oil from the seeds, and we can go over that a little bit later. But for now, we're going to concentrate on cutting these trees. Big one there. Wow. In the summertime, when this thing grows real fast, this is a very fast growing tree, actually all year round, but in the summertime when it's real warm and there's a lot of rain, these things will grow so fast that we have to keep these things cut sometimes, I don't know, every couple, 3 months or something. So right now, it's not growing as fast as it usually does, but they are still growing pretty quick. It's a very soft tree as far as cutting is concerned. The wood is not real hard, so they're easy to cut. That one's got some dry pods on it, so we can get those pods off of there and get the seeds out of it, and we'll have more seeds from this thing. Okay, it looks like something that you really wouldn't want to do, cut a tree back like this. But believe me, this thing will grow so fast, and in a matter of a week or two, this thing will be sprouting new limbs already and coming back out, and it comes back like crazy once they start growing. So we're going to continue cutting this or whatever, and we'll see what happens from there. Okay, we've pretty much got this thing cut. As you can see, this is what you end up with. And like I said earlier, it looks like a dead stump now, but it really isn't. It'll come back pretty quick. I've got another tree over this way that I cut just a few days ago, and it's already starting to sprout out new stuff on it. So we can sort of go by that as to how quick this thing will grow back. Alright, one of the things that we were going to talk about is about this tree also is the pods that have the seeds in them. This is one of the pods. They use these seeds for lots of different purposes. One of the things that you can use the seeds for is to filter water. A lot of third world countries grow these trees and use the seeds and the leaves for the nutrition as well to do different things that they need to have done because they don't have access to a lot of the things that we here in the States have. These trees are growing quite well right now, and this is February here in Florida. They do quite well in zones 9 and 10 and 11, I think. Some of the other zones further north from here, they don't do quite as well because they're not that cold tolerant. But I've heard people say that you can put them in a greenhouse if you live in the north, and they'll grow okay in a greenhouse. So if you live north in the northern states, that would be a good opportunity for you to grow some of these if you chose to. Okay, you can see on this tree here, some of these places right here. This is places where we've cut it last time. And there's some back in here too, different places that we've taken cuttings in the past. What happens is when you cut these like this, it causes the branches to branch out and it fills in the top of the tree. And it doesn't just grow straight up and look like a tall, spindly something. It makes it branch out and fill in, and that way you get the shade from it as well. Okay, this is some of the heads off of the tops of the trees. You can see it's got the leaves in here. There's some of the little flowers right here. These aren't opened up yet. This one is opened up. The flowers actually have a good fragrance to them too, if you like the different smells and things like that. They smell good when they open up. These leaves, whenever you're going to harvest these to put in a salad or to cook, dry, whatever you're going to do with them, the easiest way to do it is just to hold this and grab it right here by the stem and just strip all those leaves off. And then you can put all those into whatever you're doing. If you're cooking in a stir fry or something like that, those leaves can just be put in there and used that way. And so we'll strip all these off of here, and then we'll use those leaves. Okay, these are some of the pods that come off the tree. They get quite long. This one here is probably over, I don't know, maybe 14, 15 inches long or something. They're green to start with, and then as they dry out, they start to turn brown, and they look like this. They got a little bit of weight to them when they're green, but when they get brown and like this and dry out, they're very lightweight. They're featherweight. Whenever we're going to get the seeds out of these, you have to take these and just break them apart. And then you pull this down, and then you can see in here, okay, there are seeds in here, and as you break this apart, they're little seeds, and they look like they have little wings on them. And this is what they look like. That's the seed with the little fuzzy things on the outside, I call them. But this whole pot is full of those seeds. And so that's where we get the seeds from, and we let them dry out further so that there's no moisture in them, especially if we're going to plant them again and grow another tree. We don't want any moisture in those seeds at all. And also from that point, then you can also, if you choose to make the oil from them, then that's when you would want to use them for that. This is one of the cuttings that we're going to use to repot and grow a new tree from it. All along this piece that we've got cut here are these little knots, and each one of those little knots will grow a new limb from it, and you'll see the little leaves and stuff start to sprout out from that point. When I cut these, I try to cut it a little bit below one of those knots so that I've got something under the dirt to start roots whenever we put this in. Pretty much all you have to do to regrow one of these things is get a pot with a piece like this, shove it down inside the dirt, pack it in pretty good, water it, and let it go, and it will start to grow. We've got a couple others over here that we repotted. I think about a week ago is when I potted these. This one here is a taller one, and it's got, as you can see, the little knots along the side, and then there's a smaller one over here, and it's got all kinds of new little sprouts coming out on it. One of the things we like about this tree also is that if you put this in your yard like we have, to anybody that drives by, it's going to look like just another tree. This is part of our hidden food forest that we've talked about in other videos. So this is a good thing to have, because if you need food, you can always come out to the tree and pick some of these leaves and have food, but the casual observer is not even going to know what this is. So that's another good benefit of having this tree around. Alright, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the moringa tree here. Some of the benefits of it we've talked about earlier in the video. One of the things that you can do with it is dry them. We have a bag of the dried leaves here, and this is some of the leaves we did, and we dried them out, and so we can grind these up into a powder form and use them at a later time. So this is a good thing to have and keep those around. Some of the benefits of these moringa trees is you get a lot of the B vitamins, the B1, B2, B3, vitamin D, vitamin E. It has supposed to have at least 3 times more iron than spinach has. It has 4 times as much calcium as milk. So that's just a few of the benefits. Again, research this for yourselves and don't go by what we say. The information we're giving here is information that comes from what we've experienced, and then some of this stuff you can see online. So look it up online and find out what they've got to say on there, and then you can determine for yourself if, you know, what's true, what's not, what works, what doesn't, that type of thing. They use these a lot in third world countries like Africa and India to feed people that are starving, that don't have food, and they have miraculous healings reported from these. People who have arthritis have used this, and it's helped their arthritis. So again, do your research and find out if this is the kind of thing that you're looking for. If you haven't subscribed to our channel already, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button down there in the lower right hand corner. We'd love to have you leave us comments and learn a little bit about what we're doing, and if you have information that you want to pass along to us, we'll welcome that as well. So until next time, thanks for joining us.